Hey everybody, it's Nikki with Delicate Tension Tarot. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or if you just have a lot of heavy Sagittarius placements in your chart or transits happening in Sagittarius somewhere in your houses. Yeah, so yeah. Brain fart, my bad. This will be for the energy surrounding November 1st through the 15th. We do have Mercury going retrograde in Scorpio October 31st through November 19th. Always a holy shit energy, right? Because it is the planet that is one of the closest planets to us. We feel its energy a lot more strongly. Its impact is not as gentle or what's the word I want to use? Subtle. We could experience a lot of conundrums, miscommunication, a revision of plans. I always look at retrogrades as a good time period to reflect and not react. We do not jump on opportunities at that time. We sit and look at them and think about them before we take them on. That is why it's one of those things where if you have an ex come back to you during a retrograde period, be very mindful that nothing is probably changed. So you challenge that notion, and once a retrograde period ends and the shadow period is done, then you can kind of move forward with things like that. But it's not that I don't take anything seriously during a retrograde period, I just think about it. So yeah. I do feel like this period is coming up for a really strong review for what we probably started going through in January, February earlier this year. We did have Pluto going retrograde for a good, 6 months out of the year, which was already a deep, deep energy of transformation. And now I think this is the final pause and really asking ourselves if we either resolved a lot of those issues or let go of the things we need to let go of out of our lives. And if anything is still lingering, it's kind of, we get to peel that last finger off the corner of the edge and just let go. But it's good. I think that this is the final, one last hurrah for kind of like this whole karmic cleansing thing that we have for this decade. Moving into 2020, it's going to be really good energy. I think it's going to hold a lot of potential for us to really have a very clear vision as to what we want and how we want to achieve that. And I think we're already receiving like a taste of that at the end of this year. So if you have really positive things that have been cooking up for you, just pay attention to that. Focus on that. I'm going to take a moment and kind of focus and see what it is that I see for you guys. All right, I'm going to be honest here. I think Jupiter's final gift to you. You guys have had Jupiter in your sign for the past 12 months, I think. I think November's the last month that it'll be there. And then it transits into Capricorn, I believe. I think that you get one final massive gift at your doorstep before it transits out. Because the vision that I saw was a match lighting, and then that match lighting something else, and it was just this explosion of light, and I really felt like everything in front of me became illuminated and clear, and it's as if I understood. I feel like you get to see everything, and I feel like you feel good about what it is that you see moving forward. Queen of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. So you could be, if this isn't focusing on groups or projects that you're involved in. It could be focusing on your own either personal business and how you can grow that, or things going on in the workplace, or just finances in general. Some of you might be either going back to school or learning more at this time. If you are, I think that there's very positive things underway for that. I think you're letting go of a lot of emotional uncertainty as well. That's why I feel like stuff is becoming very clear for you. I think, you know, whatever you were emotionally unsure of, I think you're letting that go. It could even be you letting go of expectations around what it is that you're building or doing for yourself. Maybe it's this thing of, you know, why am I worrying so much about this? Or why is it causing me so much emotional anxiety when I just need to work really hard, when I just need to give it 120%? Queen of Swords in reverse. Ooh. And the Hermit in reverse. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me. Woo. All right. I think I kind of want to pull one more for each side. So we have Temperance. And then we have the Three of Swords reversed. Kind of want to flip these. Yep, that feels better. Okay. Yeah, I think you're coming out of a place of whatever needs to be released from your past, or whatever you need to emotionally release. I always try to tell people, look, just because I'm talking about letting things go, it doesn't mean you have to let go of people, places, or things. Sometimes it literally is emotions or ideas around those things. Sometimes it's just changing your perspective on the situation or the way that you feel about it, so that you don't allow yourself to be held back by whatever it is. Moving forward, now, even though the Queen of Swords in reverse is not a solid energy for me, I mean, it can be pretty fucking harsh, but I see this as this thing of right now, here in this very center energy, you are extremely grounded. You're working really hard. And I think this is just one of those things where you might be even coming out of periods of deep internal reflection. Maybe you needed to get mental and emotional clarity on something. And with Temperance over here, you are getting that. And I think you're coming out and finally being really grounded and being able to express yourself emotionally. You're being able to express yourself in a much stronger mental state. Mental and emotional. And I think the fact that you have both of those in control is why you're in the Queen of Pentacles energy. Let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles. It's a lot, but I'll take it. We have Queen of Wands in reverse, we have Seven of Cups, and we have the Five of Cups. Did some passionate actions get you into trouble? I'm not meaning to laugh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's really interesting. I think whatever you were really confused about emotionally, whatever you couldn't see clearly on, I really think it was making you upset, or I think it was keeping you in a space of energetically not being able to move forward. I think that's what I'm seeing here with all these emotional cards and the Five of Cups in the center. I think that once you're in this grounded place, you are allowing yourself to release and let go, right? I don't think you're allowing these things to confuse you anymore. And maybe there is some sadness in that. Maybe because you are seeing very clearly, maybe because you are really grounded, you're kind of having to mourn. We could be looking at 3 months. We could be looking at 3 years. You could be mourning that period of time where maybe you were really confused. Maybe things weren't very clear to you. Maybe somebody was keeping you in a state of illusion, or maybe things were, and now that you can see things for what they are, at least from your perspective, the way you need to see them, you're having to let it go, and that's okay. Yeah, with the world, you're letting it go. I think you're focusing on ways to grow and expand yourself, if not your learning, if not your business, if not your money. You're letting it go and you're watching it grow. And I think too, there is this thing of, you know, maybe it's even mourning the concept of wishing you would have allowed yourself to change sooner, or wishing you wouldn't have stayed so stagnant or confused, and realizing that you could have used that time more wisely. Look, we all have processes that we move through at our own pace, at our own time, and in a lot of ways, I think that that's just the way things are meant to go. I think we all sign up for different things. I think we have different experiences we have to go through, and I think we have different, like I said, paces at which we move through them for its own purpose. And I think it's okay. I don't think you need to stay in this energy of, you know, being upset or sad. Yeah, I like that. So with the King of Cups, you are having a lot of emotional maturity around the way that you view this. Oh. Oh. Okay. If you are having to distance yourself from an individual who was important to you, I don't think they want this to end, and I don't think that they want you to let them go. But at the same time, I don't know. Part of me wonders if they know what you're trying to do for yourself. I'm so sorry, give me a minute with this, because this is... I don't know if they had the opportunity or the chance to tell you exactly how they viewed you. And I think the way in which they viewed you was quite beautiful. I think they really respect you. I think they acknowledge that things could have gone the distance. I just don't know. I feel like they were having emotional issues as well, and I think they still are. I think part of them is actually, maybe it's them that's grieving this situation. Maybe they don't want to lose you, and maybe they are. Maybe you're not taking action on this situation anymore. And I don't know if there's anything they can do to convince you right now. Yeah, their energy may be coming back in for this period. I don't know if you're going to go in that direction, though. Oh, yeah. No. There's something about you that doesn't trust this. I don't think you want to have to fight anymore for something. I think you just want what is meant to be yours. And it's one of those things where it's like, look, man, I shouldn't have to struggle so much for happiness. And I think the thing is this person was in such an emotionally discombobulated place that it did the same thing to you. It's almost like it was a mirror image. The way that they acted in the situation caused turmoil in you because they were experiencing turmoil within themselves. Maybe there was something that they hadn't healed from, and they did see something so special and something so promising in you, but it's almost as if either they didn't change in time or they didn't make the appropriate transition to be able to create a solid foundation within the situation, and you had to walk away, or you stopped fighting for it, or you stopped giving your passion, love, and energy into it and started focusing on yourself and working on yourself and closing out cycles of that nature. Because I do feel like in a lot of ways, maybe you said yes to your destiny and this person didn't. If this person comes towards you and wants to start telling the truth, I think you need to ask more questions. I don't like to give into the whole concept of, every Mercury retrograde an ex comes back. But dude, everybody goes through a review and they want to come back and they want to speak their piece. Sometimes it is trying to rehash things. Other times it's just to say something. But I think with this person, because we have the devil energy, there is a strong magnetic attraction or pull to this individual. You both feel this way about each other. But at the same time, I think you need to make sure that whatever is happening in the situation, it isn't you being once again chained to the situation. And at least for this 2 weeks, I don't think you need to move forward with it. And I don't think you will, because I see you being very guarded. And I actually see you being kind of stuck within yourself about whether or not to either believe them or listen to what it is that they have to say, because you understand that every time this person comes back around, it fucks with your head. And you don't want to be in that energy anymore, because I think at least having the opportunity and the time to work on whatever it is that you're doing, it did bring you into temperance energy. You found emotional and mental clarity not being attached to this person. And it was because you weren't having to experience or feel what it was that they were going through that was bleeding into the situation. And I think you're tired of doing that. I think you're tired of being in situations where you get in these cycles where people start affecting you and you don't realize that it's them affecting you. So you feel like it's you. And then you feel fucked up and you can't get out of that situation. I do feel like, though, with the King of Pentacles, this person is attempting to mirror your energies. So maybe they are working on themselves. But do I think they're there yet? No. And do I think it's okay to hear what they have to say? Yes. I just think it's about how you allow it to affect you. And that's why I'm saying keep in mind that with this period of time, it is a time to reflect and not to react. This person is still holding on to you. I think they do feel like you would reject them if they came towards you, and you very well might. Yeah, they're very afraid of you rejecting them. I think too, oh God, yeah, they're so afraid of that. They know you don't need them. Let me be clear. They know you do not need them. Also, I think you're dealing with somebody who has a great deal of pride. If this person would like to think that they don't need anybody or anything, but I feel like they need people all the time. So let's see. Let's clarifying this energy here. We have the offering. We have the comic. We have the sustainer. And we have the threshold. Oh, okay. Like I said, I do think this person is offering you something. I do think you are at an important point where you can move beyond the situation. And like I said, I'm not always saying you have to let go of people, places, or things, but you do have to let go of how you energetically deal with the situation. I do not think that this is the right time to commit to anything with this individual, because I still think there's a lot of growth here that needs to be done. And there's still some things that they are dealing with that would bring you down in the situation. So until they fully match your energy, and you will fucking know when they do, because they will show up, and not just say that they will show up. Work on sustaining and creating yourself and your environment, because I think this person is still fumbling a bit. The energy can always be vice versa. Remember that as well. And I know, bummer read. I'm sure some of you are like, oh, but I want this person to come back. Look, I'm not saying this person is never, ever coming back. But trust me, you don't want to fuck with anybody during a retrograde period. It ends as quickly as it starts. People will come into your life. They will be there for like 2 to 3 weeks, and then they are gone, baby. So let me further clarify the energy. Yeah, please do not fall into this. Like I said, you guys have a strong connection and chemistry. And I do think that this person does have the ability to lure you in, or vice versa. But you really do have the situation. You do have the situation in your control. I will say that if you choose to, you do. And there's mirror. Make sure the magic that you can create in this situation, the best thing you can do right now is make this person match your energy, not vice versa. If you have integrity right now, and if you are showing up for yourself every day, if you are working really hard, make this person match your energy. Please. Please. We are closing out such big cycles here. I can't even, it almost makes me emotional if I'm going to start like really getting into it. I can't even express the situations that I've been helping people through right now that are a lot. I mean, we're talking like these people are closing out patterns of things that they have been dealing with for a long, long time. More than a decade. And that's hard. It is hard to finally get to the point to where you're saying, I'm not going to do this to myself anymore. And why do I keep repeating the same story? Why do I keep doing it? Whether it's why do I keep focusing on others and not myself? Why do I keep getting into relationships where, you know, I end up with people who can't commit, or I end up with people who end up breaking my heart or getting me into third-party situations? Or why do I keep showing up at a job that never pays me what I'm worth? Or why can't I heal this trauma? Why am I not taking the steps necessary to fix this? This is the time where you can fix this. You can really fix it. But you have to be willing to work at it. And that's tough. I think it's the hardest part, actually. Acceptance, you're on your way. Acknowledgement, you're on your way. But actually doing the work is the hardest fucking part. Because it means you have to feel it. You have to take active steps every day to make choices to fix it. And then you have to make sure you don't repeat it. And that's the hardest part. Okay, Sagittarius. I love you guys. You know, if you made it this far, once again, this is just a 2-week energy. That's all it is. It is just a 2-week energy. Although you do have like major arcana here, the ones that you do have are pretty beautiful. Closing out major cycles, you're stepping into getting your energy to the Empress energy. You're overcoming some pretty big obstacles in terms of the things that, you know, you feel have had control over you in the past. And you're really balancing yourself out. So keep working with that energy. And I feel like, you know, even though you're going to have more readings until the end of the year, by next year, the path is going to be illuminated and you are going to see the way forward. And I think you're going to know who and what is coming with you. But right now, just think. Just look. Look at what has grown with you. Look at how you've grown. And make different choices. That's all it takes. If you liked this reading, or if it resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me how it resonated. Tell me how it didn't. I'm always open to constructive criticism. I do have a link below now for donations to help keep this channel going. It is absolutely not necessary. I will probably end up just continuing to do this regardless. I really love it. I love what I do. And yeah, just a nice little energy exchange, that's all. If you would like a private reading with me, you can contact me at delicatetensiontarot@gmail.com, or you can follow me on my Instagram at delicatetension. Both of those are down in the description box below. And I hope you have a wonderful 2 weeks and just take care of yourselves.